Death as the biggest teacher. The greatest of all fears is the fear of death. In one way or another, the biggest fears and insecurities come out of fear of death. Such an interesting dilemma, isn't it? No matter what you do, what possessions you gain through your life, how you live and act out your life, anything that ever happens, only two facts are certain and predetermined without a chance to be changed. You being born into existence and you dying. Now, I'm not saying that there is no chance to change how or when do you die. That is, of course, something different. Now I'm saying the fact itself that you will die cannot be changed. We try not to think about death, and there is a very strange behavior created in people caused by their fear of death. And that behavior being trying to hide from it. People don't want to hear about their possibility of death, about their close ones dying, or things that they care about so dearly disappearing. How silly it is to try and escape a predetermined fact. It's like being scared of your shadow, so you go and you turn on the lights. You try not to look at it, but anyway it's there and you'll face it when the lights go out. Let's look at the reason why this fear comes up. We never truly look at it. What is the root of fear? I'm waiting for you to inquire on it. So again, what is the root of fear? Don't think about it, just look within yourself and ask, what is the root of fear? And search. Fear is a thought. Then, what is a thought? When I asked this around, many people try to tell me all kinds of nonsense they don't understand themselves about thoughts being neurological, energetical brain waves, whatever. It doesn't mean anything. It's just more thoughts. So don't use what you learn. Learn to use your experience to confirm things. This way, we rise above thought to inquire about what it is. So, what is a thought? It's memory. Thoughts are all just memory. And from memory, you make assumptions and projections about the future. Memory is what you remember, and future is what you cannot know. Neither of them exist. Memory is no longer. It's a dead thing. And future is not at all. So if we are here now and you say future is tomorrow, when tomorrow comes, you're gonna again be here and be here now. There is no experience of future, because anytime you just get there, it's gonna be now. So there is no future. Notice that your mind also never thinks outside of what it learned or in any way saved up as memory. This took me like 3 days of exploring my whole mind, trying to see if I can come up with anything that is not been heard before, seen, or in any way stored up. There was nothing original I could come up with, because everything is either something that you already experienced or from the old experience kinda mixed up together, but never out of what you already have as memory. So this fear of death comes out of your projection into the future. Without thinking about future, you wouldn't be in fear Now, don't be stupid and plan your future. Sure, I'm not saying that, but this fear is just imagination and projections. And death is the best teacher, because when you are finally faced with it, when you turn around and look at it and see that there is no escape and that it's there, looking back at you, things start to change. Why are you doing all of this? Why are you in such stress and hurry? Why are you so attached to everything? What is the whole point? Why do you bother being angry and upset with other people? No matter where you look, all you can see will all be gone, with you included. And it will happen actually pretty fast. When this happens to you, when you finally notice, there are two things to do. One could be terrible, and another one beautiful. Either you become depressed and resist death, overcome by fear, or you accept this simple fact for what it is. But don't worry, you'll always fall into the beauty of it. You just need to first face it head on. There are many people who are in denial or in a run from their death. And there is a lot of people in some form of acceptance, but never fully. The more you remind yourself of your mortality and the fact that death can come at any time, the more your whole life and how you live will change into something more peaceful and calm. It might sound very uncomfortable to your mind now, but notice that judgment from your mind and see it as a confirmation for you that there is resistance and deep lodged fear. Try this with me, okay? Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Deep breath in, out. And if the next one doesn't happen, gone. Notice how fragile yet strong your body is. How much you can carry and do and dance around all day and it's fine. Yet how fragile it is. How beautifully crafted this whole organism is. Be grateful for every moment that you can experience this body. Just be grateful for every morning that it wakes up, because you take it for granted that you wake up. How can you know that you'll wake up tomorrow? So many people die every night in their sleep and never see the sun again. Yet here you are, sitting, taking for granted that maybe one day, when you are old and wrinkled, you'll die. No. Some people are walking down the street, trip and die. Eating soup, sipping, dead. So fragile, yet so sturdy and strong. The more aware you become of this fact, the more grateful you become. The more you'll want to be in the now, because that is all you have. When you're angry, anxious, upset, worried, or arguing with someone, ask yourself, what would I do now if I didn't have tomorrow? And see how much change comes into your life the more you ask yourself this, the more you remind yourself. Later you don't need to ask anymore, because you will know that there is no tomorrow. So much gratitude comes into your life, so much nonsense gets dropped, resulting in freedom and peace being able to flood in and take place instead of the anger and fear. If you want, you can take this teaching in terms of Kundalini as the first chakra, the root chakra or Muladhara chakra. Meditating on death was difficult due to so much fear, but awakened my Kundalini energy and actually opened up the first chakra. I would go out in the dark of the night and sit in the grass under the stars alone, then close my eyes and just focus on my body and breath for a while, or between the eyebrows, just sitting, and then create a thought of something in the sense of I accept death. I am willing to die, even now. And as soon as those thoughts flooded in, there were so many demons and scary things just walking up to me out of the darkness, and with them so much fear. Of course, they were all just in the mind. All our enemies, but also friends, are just in our mind. At first, I couldn't handle the fears and kept running away or just opening my eyes. But then I learned to sit with the fear. And that is something that if you wanna truly move higher spiritually, is something that you will have to learn either way. To be friends with your own fear. So I learned to sit with the fear there until the fear couldn't handle sitting with me and left. With these two things, gratitude and awareness of one's mortality and true acceptance of death for the first time in your life, you will gain so much power. Something awakens and this fear and insecurity, vrittis, of Muladhara fall off and enable the Kundalini, the life energy, to wake up and shift. You don't have to do what I did. It is important that you just do whatever you feel is needed to be in more acceptance and gratitude for life, and let go of fear and insecurity of death. I felt that I need to go out every night and meditate this way. For you, it might be different. But never run away. I heard that even Buddha, when initiating people, first sent them to the cremation grounds to stay there, watching the bodies burn for months, saying, don't think about it, just watch. And that had the same effect on the people, seeing the dead being burned, and only then he initiated them.